Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Pony Montana, and in this video we're going to be going over how to run man coverage defense like the pros do in Madden 23. Now, before I get into it, if you guys could do me the favor of liking the video, subscribing if you are new, and leaving anything down in the comment section. Comment FTA because it's for the algorithm and it helps push these videos out to more and more people. So comment FTA or comment anything you guys are struggling with, because I'd love to help you guys in any way I can. Now let's get right into it. We're just going to go ahead and call a play real quick so we could flip our defense. And when it comes to the meta currently in Madden, it's man coverage. It's man coverage or match coverage, but a lot of people don't understand the principles of match coverage, depending on if it's cover 4 palms or cover 4 quarters or just a cover 6 or a cover 9. But yeah, if you guys are running match, just make sure that you guys turn this little dial on to match. So we're going to go ahead and put match on for this. It doesn't really make that big of a difference. But if you guys are trying to run the man coverage meta, the way that people are going about this, and this is just going to double as like a nice little ebook sort of situation, where this is something that somebody will explain to you in an ebook. So we're just going to come out and let's just come out in this regular trips. And on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to go ahead and let's just call dollar. It's one of the most popular things that you guys can run, and it's a very, very difficult thing to beat, simply because people are doing this. They're coming out in a blitz, let's say spinner. And a lot of people are confused as to how you run these certain defenses. So right now I'm just going to base a line here, and I'm going to go ahead and take Gibson, man him up on the square guy, take Hufanga, man him up on the outside O guy, and then we're going to put these two guys in deep zones. Okay, so this is typically how people are running their dollar defenses, right? And then taking these guys and pretty much using whoever they could possibly use her to kind of create that extra separation. But they're shading underneath and allowing these guys to pretty much get a press animation while they're in zones. I'm going to show the instant replay on that. So they're getting somewhat of a press animation where they're literally just bumping them a little bit, allowing the guy who is manned up on them to have enough time to pretty much go ahead and guard that person. Now this guy's already in a deep blue, so if he runs straight up, the coding is going to register this as this guy is having 2 people on him. So even if he was put in a streak, that would be the case. So again, we're gonna do this, do the same exact thing, and now we're just gonna sit there and make sure that our defense is set up properly. So again, we're sending spinner because spinner is the best defense in the game, as we all know. And again, everything is pretty much jammed up, clamped up, and I can show the replay on that. The only thing that could have been thrown was the running back route, which is a very, very good route to throw. But as you can see, this guy's technically double covered. This guy's clamped up here, and then this guy gets clamped up here because of the cross man that comes across with the safety help, and it allows us to pretty much have this pretty much wide open. Now, after that happens and people do that, it's not always that type of situation. So sometimes people will sit there and they'll only send 3 people, which is going to confuse you a lot, especially if you're sitting there kind of thinking that you have 0 route combos that you could potentially run. And as you can see, once again, we got Bosa here who just went absolutely crazy there. And sometimes your send 3 is going to work and sometimes it won't. In this situation, Bosa's got the abilities to pretty much get past any receiver. But again, as you can see here, this guy is completely clamping down this route. And then our cross man comes across to, for the extra help. And by that time, this guy's already on the ground. So there's not much that you could do about that. Now, there's another way that people run their man coverage, and it's simply just calling 2-man under. 2-man under, shade underneath, GG's, have a day. That's pretty much it. That's all people are doing is they're calling 2-man under. They've got their safety help over the top. I personally like to take, so typically if we're on a certain hash mark, so say we're on the right hash mark here, and I'm going to take Bosa out. He's not going to be blitzing. So typically I'm going to move this guy all the way out here. simply so that he's that extra help for that safety help. And I'm going to shade underneath. What shading underneath does is it creates the best man coverage that you guys can end up facing. Now, again, everybody looks like they're clamped up while your user is helping in any way that they can. And as you can see, everything is clamped up. Now, granted, obviously, we're only sending 2 people here, and you're typically going to wait for some form of a route bounce. But if you're mixing this in with the fact that you're also blitzing, as you can see, look, this guy clamped up because of the press. And as you can see, this is DeAndre Hopkins getting clamped up by whoever 38 is. I have no idea who that is. And we can keep on going. We can keep on going to the rest of the people that are on the field. Our running back is guarded by Fred Warner, and Fred Warner is not going to let anything happen there. The drag route is completely glued on. The tight end route here is completely glued. This guy here is shading underneath, so he walks right in front of him. So if you try to throw that curl route, that is absolutely clamped. And the reasoning why people are doing this is because if you go over the top, so say we go over the top here, I have my safety help that's over the top. If we go over the top with a streak with DeAndre Hopkins, we have help. So again, we're just going to make sure that Bosa isn't getting the instant shed. So now we have help over the top, and now EA registers this as him being double covered. And obviously EA's terrible. The game is not in the best state, and it allows him to actually catch that ball over 2 defenders, which is kind of crazy. But as you can see, we have safety help over the top, which means this is coded as him being double covered. Now, granted, horrible animations there. I have no idea why he completely slows down there, but these are the 2 ways that people are running man coverage. They're simply shading underneath while having these guys do their thing, right? So say they're blitzing. Let's just blitz this guy, and we're going to man him up to X. So our L1 is currently blitzing, but this is typically how they're running their man coverage, either like this. So they have that cross man help, and you can even cross man the safeties as well if you guys would like, just to create that kind of weird situation where they're kind of forced to like run over there. As you can see, it still works. It's just those safeties have to be people with some form of a route KO, and that's something that I forgot to mention. So what people are doing right now currently, especially in Madden Ultimate Team, is they're taking deep route KOs and they're putting them on these guys here. They're putting some form of a route KO, medium route KO. If they're spamming these guys up to deep blues here, they're putting medium route KOs on these guys because typically the routes that they're going to end up running are going to be shorter pattern routes. So typically, when it comes to the situation, and I'm about to bring the squiggles out. So typically when it comes to the situation, DeAndre Hopkins is this guy's going all the way deep out here, right? So this guy's in a deep blue. So DeAndre Hopkins, the only thing that DeAndre Hopkins is going to absolutely destroy on or torch is anything that's in a medium route. So let's say he's running some form of a slant here. What's gonna knock that out and clamp that up the most? Having somebody with a medium route KO or a short route KO, so that as soon as the ball is thrown anywhere in this vicinity, so anywhere here, anywhere that ball is thrown here, the ball will end up getting knocked out simply because of those abilities. Now, some people like to have the deep route KO because obviously a lot of these routes are gonna end up going like this and then out here. So anything that's within a post range, anything that's up here and going up here, that is going to end up being knocked out by a deep route KO. So that's why this is going to continue being the meta, simply because we're going to keep on getting discounted abilities in Madden Ultimate Team, and the more discounted abilities that happen, the harder it's going to be to move the ball when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. Now, granted, at the same time, it's going to be the same thing on the flip side of that, where we're going to get discounted abilities on offense, whether it be O-line chems, receiving chems, quarterback chems. It doesn't matter what kind of chems they are, but we are going to keep on getting those discounted ones. And this is pretty much the way people are running their man coverage defense. So again, they're either blitzing heavy with their spinner, right? So they're coming out, calling spinner and blitzing extremely heavy. And this is something that you guys can utilize, something with a hard flat here. So the running back ends up getting clamped up by the time the blitz comes in. So the blitz comes in, absolutely dominate. And then once your opponent starts getting used to being clamped up by the spinner blitz, that's when you come out, you pretty much just shade underneath, and that's triangle, and then move your right stick down. And that's pretty much it. make sure that your safety help over the top is over towards that wide side of the field, because if he's not, this is what could potentially happen. I'm gonna go ahead and streak DeAndre Hopkins here. He's gonna get pressed, and we're gonna be able to potentially throw it. And, you know, a situation like that. And DeAndre Hopkins was actually clamped there, which is crazy. And that's another reason why the shade underneath meta is so good, because even though you're shading underneath, they'll still be able to play pretty solid defense guarding things that are over the top. This is your man coverage tutorial, and this is pretty much how pro players are running their man coverage. Is they're simply utilizing their user in the middle of the field while shading underneath and pressing with safety help over the top. And then it's your job, again, I can't stress that enough, it's your job to take your user and guard a very, very wide variety of routes, simply because this is all you. If not, you might end up getting beat over the top with a certain route combination that could beat man coverage. But this is how a lot of pros are running their man coverage. Hopefully this video helps you guys out, because this is a very easy defense to run, and you can run this out of pretty much anything. The reason why people run this out of dollar and nickel is because you have that extra nickel help. That nickel corner, you know, is going to be fast enough, and depending on how good your team is, he's going to be good enough with good man coverage abilities and good man coverage stats to pretty much guard most of the routes that are on the field. My name is Tony Montana. If you guys appreciate this tip, leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and comment anything down below, especially if you guys have any other way that you guys are running your man coverage and it seems to clamp up. Please let it be known down in the comment section. I love to learn from y'all just as much as y'all love to learn from me. So I will see you guys in the next one. As always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.